Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tadote Udarayate Nashtaprayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Deviki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpade Gopisa Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurange Radhe Vrindevaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Darubhasya Kripa Sindhubhaivacha Paditanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for this Sunday's Srimad Bhagavatam class. I am thankful for giving opportunity to Param Dayal Prabhu. He is taking painstakingly organizing the devotee this week. I am extremely thankful to Ranganath Chanbu and Sri Radha Priya Mataji for joining. I will today discuss about same continuing the prayers of Kuntimaharani. I am the canto number 1, chapter number 8, text number 21. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Translation purport by P.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda and other coward men of Vrindavan, under the enlivened air of cows and censers. Purport. The Lord being thus unapproachable by any material asserts, out of unbounded and causeless mercy descend on the earth, as he is, in order to show his special mercy upon his unalloyed devotees, to diminish the usage of demonic persons. Queen Kunti specifically adores the incarnation or descent of Lord Krishna above all other incarnations, because in this particular incarnation, he is more approachable. In the Rama incarnation, he remained a king's son from his very childhood. But in the incarnation of Krishna, although he was the son of a king, he at once left the shelter of his real mother, the king Vasudeva and Queen Devaki, just after his appearance, and went to the lap of Yasoda Mai to play the part of an ordinary coward boy in the blessed Brajabhumi, which is very sanctified because of his childhood pastime. Therefore, Lord Krishna is more merciful than Lord Rama. He was undoubtedly very kind to Kunti's brother Vasudeva and family. Had he not become the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Queen Kunti could not claim him to be her nephew, thus address Krishna in parental affection. But Nanda and Yasoda are more fortunate because they could relish the Lord's childhood pastime, which are more attractive than all other pastime. There is no parallel to his childhood pastime as exhibited Brajabhumi, which are the prototypes of his eternal affair in the original Krishna Loga, described in Chintamani Dhamma in Brahma Samhita. Lord Krishna descended himself at Brajabhumi with all his transcendental entourage and paraphernalia. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore confirmed that no one is as fortunate as the residents of Brajabhumi, and specifically the coward girls, who dedicated their everything for satisfaction of the Lord. His pastime is Nanda and Yasoda, and his pastimes with coward men, specifically with coward boys and cows, have caused him to be known as Govinda. Lord Krishna, as Govinda, is more inclined to the Brahmanas and cow, indicating thereby that human prosperity depends more on these two items, namely the Brahmanical culture, cow protection. Lord Krishna is never satisfied where these are lacking. Om Ajnana Dramdasya Jananjala Salakhaya Shakshuran Blitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhisam Sabidam Yena Budale Vayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadadi Savadantikam Vandeham Sigurum Sivadakamalam Sigurun Vaishnavam Cha Sirubam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunada Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Prajana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Savisaka Vidamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatbade Govisa Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurange Radhe Vrindevaneshwari Prishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sundabhayavacha Paditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanandaha Sadvaida Gadada Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome all of you for this Sunday's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So just while narrating these slogas, such a beautiful prayers of Kuntimaharani, we understand this is when compared to the material world, the spiritual subject is very difficult because sometimes the material world we can understand and we can also follow somebody because we are seeing in front of somebody following the material things, like our you can learn from your father, mother, your friends, relatives. So many people are there to teach about material things. But spirituality, it requires some the blessing of the Lord, blessing of the Vaishnavas. On our own, we can't understand. Even this, when we are reading this Kuntimaharani's prayer, it appears to be ordinary, but so much of inner meaning is there that we can understand only by the acharyas who has dedicated their life and energy in understanding from the previous to the previous acharyas. Yeah, bona fide guru is a guru who has got himself also connected to a bona fide guru. Since the costless mercy of Prabhupada, we are connected to Gauriya Vaishnava Parampara. We are having the fortunate of having the entire Siddhanta, which is very difficult for any ordinary person to understand and comprehend. What is the meaning of comprehend means? We can understand theoretically something about spirituality, but practice imbibe in our life continuously, it requires shelter. The shelter means the holy name is the only shelter. Whatever you come around, you come to the same point. The starting point is the mean and ends are same. Only by the chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we get purified, our doubts get clarified. Because I am attending this our Gauranga Darshans program of Bhagavad Gita and Bhakti Bhakti Sastri course. There is giving very beautiful examples. Sometime we will get bewildered by these Sanskrit words. The same meaning. For example, the Kama has got a different meaning, Atma has got a different meaning. We will not be able to understand unless we have some kind of a guru in front of us. Similarly, we can consider our Kuntimaharani is also our guru, who is teaching us how to pray to Krishna. Because I am going to take some slogas from Ishopanishad, which is difficult for an ordinary person to comprehend. I'll just take one of the slogas from Ishopanishad. We understand how difficult the spiritual subject is. Invocation of Ishopanishad starts like that. Om Purnamada, Om Purnamidam, Purnat Purnam Udachare, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnam Eva Vasyare. The translation of this, the personality of God is perfect and complete. Because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete whole. Whatever is produced in the complete whole is also complete in itself, because he is a complete whole. Even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains complete balanced. What is the meaning of that? Suppose if the Krishna has got some resource with him, if you go on distributing, still the Krishna's resources is same. He did not, for example, if a person is having 10,000 rupees, he gives 1,000 rupees, 10 people, it becomes 0. But not Krishna is not like that. It is always same. The Krishna's resources is always same. You have to understand, all these things we get only by the explanation of Acharyas. And one of the Ishopanishad sloka also says that is very, very complex to understand for ordinary person. I'll read one of them. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but is very near as well. He is within everything. It is outside everything. These are all contradictory, looks like a contradictory, but for which help of acharyas, we can understand what is that. This conveys the omnipresence of Lord. These things that normally with our material, mundane intelligence or knowledge, we can't understand. That's why the mercy of the Lord flows through the acharyas, flows through the spiritual master, through the medium, to listening to their instruction, we'll be able to slowly understand this spirituality. It is like, suppose the spiritual life is a gradual process. It is not like that something you just go in a crash course and get everything. You have to practice over a period of lifetime. Then only some clarity will come. So in this connection, I'm just going to take one story from Mahabharata, because I thought, no, we always discuss about philosophy. We thought I'll take some story also. This is one of the story from Mahabharata, when Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana decided to, when they were in Hastinapur, they become very famous. They were liked with all the citizens. The Duryodhana thought if he continues to live in Hastinapur for a long duration of time, they will become popular. Naturally, they will become the king. So he devised a plan with the help of Karna, Saguni, all these people, Aswathama, all these things. That's it. This better to send him outside Hastinapur so that they can give a happy life. But in that, Duryodhana decided to conspire them, and he told this plan to Dhritarashtra. Duryodhana's plan is eliminate all these Pandavas so that he'll become the king forever. That's the idea in which he has planned. He is told Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was not somehow agreeing. He convinced him, don't worry about Bhishma. Bhishma is related to both of us. He will not do anything. About Dronacharya, we are feeding him. Dronacharya will not object. About because of Dronacharya relation with Kripa, Kripa also will not object. About Vidura, he is telling Vidura may object, but since he is also getting some favor, he will not oppose it, even though he may not like that idea. Like that, he is justified somehow. Dhritarashtra agree, you carry out the plan. But do that in such a way, nobody understand your conspiracy. Like that, he has advised. And yes, Duryodhana intelligently called one of his minister and also his assistant by name Purochana. He said, you go to Varnavada, like that one particular city is there. You go there and create such a nice palace made of all infallible item, like that, that made of ghee, made of wood, dry wood, and the oil, lac, dry grass. All this you make in such a way, it looks a beautiful palace. Nobody should detect. And with that, he was sent in advance so that he has constructed a nice palace. And Dhritarashtra calls one day Yudhishthira Maharaj, and you kindly go for a vacation for the Varnavada, for along with your entire families and your brothers, and spend your time there. Like that, he said. So normally, what is Yudhishthira Maharaj mood is, whenever elders give any instruction, it doesn't doubt or it doesn't disobey. He immediately says, okay, we'll set it. They go in a nice chariot driven by nice horses. He was taken there. But while going, you see that Yudhishthira Maharaj mood. What is that Yudhishthira Maharaj? Why is called Dharmaraj? Before going, he goes and takes the permission from everybody. He takes permission from Dhritarashtra, he takes from Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Vidura. But everybody knows the Duryodhana's plan perfectly. They know, and the entire city knows also there is some cunning plan of Duryodhana behind this. They were all crying when they're leaving. But Vidura, being intelligent, he told Yudhishthira Maharaj in a very, very secret code, that is a Malacha language, there is going to be some danger, be alert. Be alert. And also, I will also send somebody to protect you at a proper time. Be guarded. Like that, if the message is sent up. But when they landed in this particular palace, they came to know it is always smelling like a ghee. The fragrant smell of ghee was coming in the palace. And this the Prochana, who was sent by Duryodhana, taken care of so nicely, so that they did not know there is any conspiracy behind staying in this. They were staying happily for more than a year. But at that time, since they were hunting, they used to go around the entire palace and see the surrounding, so that they were very, very conversant with the places where to go, where to escape, in kind of like that. And Yusuf Maharaj told Bhima, you dig a hole so that from here you should escape. So that nobody should know you are digging a hole like that. He instructed Bhima. Bhima dug a hole through covering the area from the top. And one day, when it was when new moon fails to brighten, that means maybe after that this one full moon was over, it was descending. That time he came to know when it became completely dark, the Prochana is going to set a fire. So one miner was sent by Vidura to give a message. I will dig that particular hole, whichever Bhima is completed overnight. You have to escape like that. He told particular when the moon was failing. So one day before that, Prochana, that particular day or previous night, he conducted a big party there. He called all these local people, all invited, and these people are also in the party. There are Pandavas also there. There, one from Nisada tribe, one woman came along with 5 children. They were drinking heavily. They could not move. They stayed in the same palace. That day, Yudhishthira told, and also Prochana also staying in that particular palace that day. So they give him impression everything is fine. So their Kunti Devi, all these brothers escaped. Bhima finally went and set a fire to that house, which a palace was built by Prochana, and left. They left through the hole. They came to the forest side. They came near the Ganges river. And when they came to the Ganges river, that is a thick forest. Actually, they will walk for a long time. So they could not walk. Kundi also told, I cannot walk. That Bhima carried everybody in his shoulder and walked through the forest. After coming to but at the same time, once the lake house was set on fire, entire the Varnavadana and also these Hastinapur got a message. The entire Kundis along with his children were dead, and Dhritarashtra was mourning for the death, as if he's really affected by that. But in their heart, everybody knows that he is very happy that they finally gone. So at that time, and Yudhishthira told whether we should tell them the world we are alive. So Yudhishthira told Kuntimaharani, we should disguise ourselves as Brahmin and live in the forest for some more time. They went to the forest for this one. They crossed over this one Ganges. At that time also, Vidura sent one boatman to cross over the ocean the other side. When they went to the deep forest, there was a Hidimba. They came across, they were all resting, they were wanted water, and Bhima went to fetch water for them. At that time, he was attacked by one Rakshasa by Hidimba. So actually, he said, I want to, before that, what in about that is, he has sent his sister to go and catch them and bring it for, I want to eat them. I want to eat the human flesh. So when the Hidimbi came there, she was attracted by Bhima, and she proposed to Bhima, I want to marry you. And at that time, and actually, in the meantime, Hidimba also was coming. Since the sister was delaying their arrival there, she also came there. I want to swallow you. At that time, the Hidimbi told Bhima, better to kill him, because his idea is to, this one, somehow I'm attracted to you, I want to marry you. Kindly kill my brother. So single-handedly, Bhima completely took this Hidimba and his son, and he circumvented on the head and threw him, and he died. After that, they were leaving. At that time, Hidimbi asked Kuntimaharani, I want to marry your son. I want to marry and be with him for some time till you get a son. Moment I get a son, I will release him. And whenever you wanted me, you call me like that. He has requested. And Yudhishthira Maharaj and Kundi said, you marry this Hidimbi. And Bhima also told, I will be with Hidimbi for the morning time. Night time will come to you to protect you. On the basis, they were living happily for 1 year. And to Himbi and Bhima, they got a son, Gadotkacha. Then later on, he also helped in the Mahabharata war. This story is very important for us. Wherever seen, these are all we understand from this Yudhishthira Maharaj, the life history itself. He was being protected by Vidura. He was protected by Dharmaraj because since he was personified as Dharma, Dharma Rakshada Rakshade. If you are following the path of Dharma, you not give her any fear. Dharma will protect you. That's the lesson we learned from this particular story. And also, if you see the Kuntimaharani's prayer, Kuntimaharani's prayer, we'll go very deeply into this prayer. Actually, the Kuntimaharani's prayer is even though she is a lady, see what happened now, in case of you want to understand Vedas on your own, you can't understand because you will misinterpret or you will find only the contradiction in the Vedas. You want a guru for that. But if the simple lady like our the Kuntimaharani, explaining the finer aspect of the bhakti very, very sweetly and in a way which we can understand. What she is telling, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devagi Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. She is explaining the simple. If you read this particular sloga without going to our Prabhupada purport, also we can understand. Krishnaya Vasudevaya. Vasudeva is also another name of Krishna. But what is exhibiting here, the Vasudeva means, he is a Purusha. He is one more word. In the previous sloga, he says the Purusha. The three, some aspects of the Krishna, Kuntimaharani is telling in a prayer. One is calling Krishna as a Purusha. Purusha means he is a person. He is a supreme personality of Godhead. So, Prabhupada emphasized the aspect of impersonalist. Impersonalist has got a bad understanding of what is God. They said since Krishna is unlimited, he cannot have a form. They give an example of a sky. If the sky is very unlimited, it doesn't have a form. Similarly, since Krishna, they are limiting the Krishna, either, see, the understanding of the Mayavadi philosophy or impersonal philosophy, either they bring the God to the level or they upgrade themselves to the God level. That's a problem with the impersonalists and Mayavadis. Here, he say, Purusha. Purusha means he is having a form. He is not impersonalist. One aspect of it. And Prakriti Param. Beyond this material creation, you have to understand when Krishna is got, see, you have to understand the two aspects. One is Janma Karma Cha Divyam Evam. So Krishna birth as well activities is Divyam. You have to understand that. For understanding this, Prakriti Param. He is beyond. He is not from material creation. Even though Krishna came in this material world, lived along with this and Vrajabhumi, he is not affected by material. Three gunas are not affected by Krishna. Neither his body is like our material. His body is like spiritual. So here, one more aspect of Krishna is explaining of Bhakti Yoga. A person who is practices in Bhakti Yoga and to understand the foundation is that you have to understand the soul and super soul different. We are that many times we understand this example is one is a ocean drop of ocean water and ocean. Another is a sun and sun rays. These are examples we give. So we may be quantitatively different, qualitatively same. So that's why if you want to rise to the level of the godliness, we can easily rise because some quality of purity in us. With the, even though the body has got so many defects, so many problems are there, but soul is not affected by any other defect. He is always Sachidananda. It cannot be contaminated. The difference between the soul and the material mundane things is, so mundane things we can remain pure for some time. We can't remain pure for a long time because we are associated with always with material gunas. Three gunas is affecting us. But this one, the Atma is beyond the three gunas. It cannot be affected because it always has got connection with Krishna. That is why Kuntimaharani said, if you always in contact with Krishna, we become pure. So one more example, we can understand from the Bhagavad Gita sloka also. Bahunam Janmana Mante Jnanaman Mam Prapatyade Vasudeva Sarvedi Sahatma Sudurlabha. So one understand the Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. This is to understand Bahunam, how many lifetimes will take to understand, come to the realization. Come to the realization, Vasudeva, everything is, only it takes a lot of time. But the process adopted by yogis and jnanis are very, very painstaking. Sometimes they will be able to succeed, some will not be able to succeed. The path of bhakti is sure, because whatever, we don't have any kind of a what is called ulterior motive, or we don't have any kind of a interest in beyond satisfying Krishna. That is the bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is pure. This we have senses. We have to use our senses. The difference between these impersonalists, Mayavadis, they want to make our senses zero, withdraw all the senses. If withdraw answers artificially, we can withdraw senses for some time, but it's not always possible to withdraw senses all the time. For instead of that, Prabhupada says the two things that are important is one is sense control and also engagement senses. If you always do the sense control, like you are for a serpent is the snake is kept in a what is called no small basket for some time. Moment you remove the basket, it will come out, it will do some damage. Similarly, senses are also considered as a snake. It can remain for some time, but whatever remains for a duration of by suppress or the control for some time, his exhibit is the nature, but what is called Subhava will come out. So that is why Prabhupada has given intelligently a concept called devotional service. We have to engage our senses in the service of Krishna, Govinda, Rishikesha. If you engage in senses, automatically once such senses become purified, senses cannot do any damage to us. That is why Prabhupada calls these the devotional service as a science. It can be practiced, you can experiment yourself. It is not that no, you cannot experiment yourself. So Seva Mukho Jivado. What is starting is our entire process of devotional service started with our tongue. The tongue has got two aspects. One is chanting this holy name and also taking Krishna Prasad. That's why when all other practice, if you practice Ashtanga Yoga, so many yogas are there. If you practice anything, ultimately their thing is to go to to approach God. But those process in the process of doing the Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana, all these things, no, a person who is practicing can get what is called can bored or get disinterested in some time as they are practicing. But Bhakti Yoga is so amazing, so pleasing to the senses, pleasing to the soul. So as you do Bhakti, you want to do more. That's why Prabhupada many times say, this Hare Krishna mantra, we are able to chant for this one long time. For example, if a person chant Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds a day, it takes 2 hours. But he doesn't get bored. Every day I'm doing same Hare Krishna mantra. Why should he? Doesn't have the feeling at all, because there is a taste is there. When you chant this holy name of Krishna, Krishna empowered to taste his holy name. You find some taste in the name. You find some kind of a pleasure in chanting. You gained some kind of wisdom, and you also able to gain control your senses. The Krishna also said in Bhagavad Gita 3 kind of things are lust, greed, and anger takes to the hell. But by practicing the Krishna consciousness, you will be able to control anger, lust, and greed. The lust is transformed to the love for Krishna. The greed is transformed into what is called the greed is transformed into the charity, or giving what you instead of want to gain something, you want to give. In many times he is state from Purana. In giving, you are getting. In giving, you are receiving. See, for example, Prabhupada recommends in this particular Kuntimaharani's prayers only. If we give what we have got from the Krishna consciousness, what gift to others, you gain more. Because what is the process is, in giving, we are receiving. So our Maharaj also gives one of the explanations why we are preaching this. The Krishna conscious movement is preaching. Only by preaching, our what is called our the soul is satisfied. Suppose somebody is a rich merchant. That is, what is the difference between Kripana and Brahmana? Kripana is a person who got something, some wealth. He doesn't want to share with others. But the Brahmana is a person who has got wealth. That wealth he wants to give to others. He doesn't want to keep enjoy himself. The Krishna consciousness is also like the greatest gift which Prabhupada has given all of us. What is very important is to practice ourselves Krishna conscious and give this Krishna culture to others. That is very important aspect of the Krishna consciousness. Now, you have to understand we are part and parcel of Krishna. That everybody we have heard many times. The Krishna, we are also a part and parcel of Krishna. Prabhupada gives amazing example. This example is a small, very normal example, but we can understand. If one part screw is there from a machine, if the screw is removed from the machine, the screw has no value. Similarly, we are all Krishna's part and parcel. But if you are not connected with Krishna, we are not connected to spirituality, we are connected only to the bodily concept of life, and we have no value. We are dead matter. We may be living just like that blacksmith blows as just breathing. We are also doing breathing, some activity to maintain the body. Beyond that, we are not able to cherish what Krishna has given for us. Many times we also get an example when a Mercedes car is employed for plowing that field. What is use of that? You are misusing. Similarly, if you are not using, if you are not practicing the bhakti or the devotion service, we are not using our body for which it is given. If you analyze very nicely the difference between animal and us, beyond this, the eating, mating, sleeping, different animal doing, we are also doing. If a human being does all only the four things, not able to understand where I'm coming, where I came from, where I'm going, what is my destination after death, what is my connection with the material world in relation with we are living. If you are not asking the intelligent question, there is no difference between human and animal. That's why the Prabhupada has opened up this topic. This is really the blind blowing this one discussion actually. The normal thing, even the Prabhupada is giving such a deep-rooted philosophy by giving a small example. When you give an example, we saw this. We are also part of Krishna. One example, this one, salt, the ocean water and ocean drop. And similarly, we give example of a part and parcel. These are a small example. With this, he is able to understand what is our connection between us and Krishna. This is very amazing. Otherwise, no, if you understand, normally, if you want to understand the spirituality means, people say it should be very aged person, or you should know Sanskrit, and you should do a lot of tapasya. Nothing is required. You should have an open-minded to receive it. That's why Prabhupada say, you want to say whatever I given. And Prabhupada, sometimes the Prabhupada disciple asked Prabhupada, what is the qualification for us to get this kind of Krishna Bhakti? Prabhupada says, I made your qualification. You didn't have any qualification. Similarly, we are all being made qualified by some pure devotees because of the prayer. And I always give this example of a tortoise and egg. So tortoise is laying the egg on the shore, but it goes to that ocean and pray. Similarly, we are all being connected to Krishna consciousness somewhere or other. Since we are continuing means somebody is praying for us. But sometimes we know who is our well-wisher, sometimes we not know. Since that all the devotees, for example, our Guru Maharaj, a person who is a spiritual master, he is always worried about the disciples. He prays for disciples. Similarly, Prabhupada is always praying for us. Apart from that, Radharani is praying for us because we are our children actually. And Prabhupada gives amazing example here. This particular purport is giving example. When a rich person's son goes out of the house for a long time because he has some different opinion with the father, he doesn't want to stay, he doesn't want to take any resources from father, he goes on his own. He goes around, he experiment himself the world, and he comes to know he's got totally tired. So I can't give anymore, but he wants to return to this parent home. But the ego is there, I can't go. But always father is praying for him. He is always wishing when my son will come. Similarly, that is the attitude of Krishna. Krishna is always, why these many acharyas, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and this Rupa Goswami, so many of Panchatattva, all these people, why they came here? Because they came, we are searching for a happiness in the wrong place. They know, because what happened, as a father knows the suffering of the son which is separated from him. Similarly, Krishna, we are separated from him. And he knows what are the trouble we are undergoing, because we are like a small child. We came to know this material world is for my experiment to pleasure the material world. There is no pleasure. Wherever you turn, there is a problem. So only thing is, some people understand, some people doesn't understand. The material world is full of problem. Krishna himself stamped it. Dukale masasadam. When that particular clarity is there, our approach is only to the surrender, whatever the path Prabhupada has given. Prabhupada has given amazing path. There cannot be easy path than what Prabhupada has given. And his example is amazing. His examples are all down-to-earth example. It's not that he gives some example which cannot understand. And Prabhupada, most of the things, example, he gives example with India only. When he goes abroad also, he goes and praises Indian culture. He praises the culture of marriage. He praises the culture of taking bath in the morning and the chanting mantra. These are the things which Prabhupada emphasizes in glorify India in the world. He never criticized Indian this one. Only thing was unfortunate, we are not taking Krishna consciousness very seriously. That's only the complaint Prabhupada used to make. Otherwise, he was glorifying the Krishna consciousness movement. And also, Prabhupada also said in many occasions, this one, by nature, Indians are Krishna consciousness. Why he gave this statement, nature, Krishna, Indians are Krishna consciousness? It is in our blood. We know what is the culture, how to give respect to the parents, how to give respect to the elders, how to give respect to the teachers. These are taught in our initial age only. But because of this the advancement, development, all this taking place, the technology development, we are slowly forgetting, deviating to the culture which was as our birthright. That's why Prabhupada is very much happy. The Indians are doing the culture, but somehow they are not taking the process to retaining the culture for generation to come. If you are not practicing Krishna consciousness in a way that Prabhupada taught us, as the generation progresses, the Kali Yuga impact is there, and if that Kali Yuga tendency will come in everything, whatever we have, that also will be lost. That's why it's very important for all of us to practice Krishna consciousness ourselves, and also give the Krishna consciousness knowledge to others, so that even if one person takes because of an influence, that's why very important is what Prabhupada says is, what is the meaning of preaching? Preaching is, one is inducing people to take guidance from you and get connected to Krishna. There is one. Another important preaching is by your practice. If you're able to even imbibe one of your family members by your sincere practice, that is enough actually. He will be not able to practice during your lifetime. But if you leave a legacy of practicing sincerity, which Prabhupada taught us or Guru Maharaj taught us in a purified form, that attract at least one soul. It is not that you have to bring so many people. And actually, Prabhupada also says many times, since for a person to buy a diamond in a shop, it requires a lot of money. Similarly, when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, it's a hard job. Actually, it's not that everybody can come. But whoever comes here are like a diamond. That person can shine. That's why Prabhupada says, when even one person in an entire movement becomes a pure devotee, that is my achievement. Why Prabhupada said like that? Why is achievement? Because that one person is example for others to follow. For example, in one Indian, Prabhupada many times boasted this. I am one Indian, I could make changes. So many Indians, if we take it, what will be that world looks like that? World will be a different Vaikuntha. We need not go to Vaikuntha at all. When there is a happiness and when there is a love and trust in each person, that's a Vaikuntha. That's the atmosphere of Vaikuntha. There is no competition. So, and Prabhupada also gives amazing. There is a competition only to please Krishna. What kind of a philosophy is there? Here, the competition is there everywhere to please the senses. What is the Vaikuntha consciousness? Here also, in the material world, if you are there, if you are extending yourself to please others, please God, please humanity, please other living being, then you are in the Vaikuntha platform. It is not that going there physically is not, because Prabhupada also say, when you go to Vrindavan, what is the Vrindavan Yatra? Vrindavan is carrying Krishna in your heart. Wherever you are situated, If you keep Krishna in your heart, that is Vrindavan. Similarly, when you follow these examples of the Vaikuntha Loka in this middle world, you are situated in the Vaikuntha atmosphere. You do not go to the spiritual world at all. That's why when there was an episode when Ramanujara was supposed to be, Kulatanga was supposed to take him for a debate. Kuresh and Nadamuni went along with him. And actually, when the Kulatanga, that the deadly king, he removed Kuresh as well as Nadamuni's eye. While returning there, Nadamuni, before going to Srirangam, he was not able to walk. He was supposed to leave the body. At that time, Kuresh asked him, it's only few kilometers there to Srirangam. Why can't you go there and leave your body? At that time, he gives amazing answer. Wherever the devotees are there, wherever the holy name is there, that is Vaikuntha. I need not go anywhere. So that kind of understanding, we had Acharya who were very clear in understanding. We have got the benefit of reading the scriptures. They lifted so much of the philosophy behind us. So many scriptures are there. So with all these, and also we have got Acharyas who are, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. So many people are living in front of us to guide us and also give some kind of thought in the process how it should be practiced. If we take all advantages, we are sure this material world can be a spiritual world. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, anything you people want to ask you or any comments for my improvement?
Except saying that it has been a beautiful program. Yeah.
Prabhuji?
It has been a wonderful class and a beautiful program. We all enjoyed it. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Param Dayal, bro, you're there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Very nicely explained, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Continuing the prayers of Kuntimaharani.
Yeah, Kuntimaharani, so many to learn, Prabhuji. So many things are there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji.
Yeah, very nicely you have explained, Prabhuji, all the Kuntimaharani prayers. Very deep you have studied. And taken a lot of efforts to prepare all the things we can
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. You have to thank our Param Dayal Guru for asking us to read books and understand and speak.
And what is important, you did not use even a piece of paper.
Yeah. So somehow, Prabhuji, what happened, Prabhuji? Since I'm attending so many classes, somehow it is going to subtle mind actually. So that's good. That's so many things are there. Our Subala's Prabhu 2-3 classes. Our Gauranga Darshan, Prabhu, Chaitanya Charan, so many things are there. Something is entering. It's good actually.
It's very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol.